Hey everybody, welcome back again to the MC Off-Road Garage.
Today we are going to be going through a new product we've been working on for the AC model unit defenders. These are air conditioning line guards for in the front passenger wheel well, where the fitting comes through the firewall and where the fittings hook up to the condenser in the front. Kind of open to get snagged on things or hit by debris, whatever. So these are going to go ahead and protect those fittings and connections. This is the front one here. It will come with hose and hardware for mounting. This is the rear one. Also, all the hose clamps and hardware for mounting. These are stainless steel, black textured powder coated. You know, if you get rock chips in them or anything like that, you don't have to worry about them rusting. They're still gonna look decent, not go ahead and start rusting all over and look like crap. So we'll go through the installation process here and show you guys how to get these installed. All right, so here we are over at the machine. The two areas that we're looking at to cover this section here, and to also cover all of this section right here. You can see it's fairly open for debris and anything to hit it, or get a stick jammed up in there, knock the service port off or whatever. So first we're going to work on the front. We're going to install this clamp first. It's going to be the more oval shaped one because it needs to go around both of these. And we're going to install it so that way the flat side is towards the wheel, just like this. Once you kind of have that on there and in place, what you're going to want to do next is, in final install, this tab is going to be back behind this plastic, but for the purpose of marking your holes, you're going to want to set that there, and then you can kind of line up where that bracket's going to be around those hoses that you put on, and then kind of put this in place like so, to then mark those two holes so that way you can drill through the plastic for the mounting bolts. Okay, just for reference, let's see, marked our holes, marked our locations for holes right there, and then we are going to use a 1/4-inch drill bit to go ahead and drill just through this plastic. Be careful not to break through and push too far past this piece. You could damage things that are behind it, so be careful not to drill too far. So here I kind of did the next step right away. I needed 2 hands, so I'm going to talk you through on what you're going to do. First, you're going to install the smaller set of hardware with the nylock nuts on the back side. You're just going to put those on finger tight initially. You can easily access the nut right back here. For the bottom, it's a little bit easier if you just kind of pull this plastic out a little bit. It's pretty rigid plastic, so just pull it out a little bit, and then you can go ahead and install the nut on the back side. And then for the larger single bolt back here, it's going to go through the guard plate and both sides of the clamp, and then the nylock nut's going to go finger tight on the back side of that as well. The washer is going to go on the front. Once you got that all finger tight, then you can go ahead and go back and snug everything up, make sure everything's tight, and then that will complete the front guard, and we'll move on to the back guard. So for the rear guard, we're going to kind of follow the same process steps. We're going to put these clamps on this frame bar that runs behind the shock here. I'll put these clamps on. These 2 clamps, they are the more circular looking ones, not the oval shaped looking ones. The non-bent tab, this flat tab, is going to face towards the shock, towards the front of the machine. And then we're going to go ahead and just put the guard up there, finger tighten the bolts just to hold the guard in place, and I will show you what that all looks like once I get it done. Alright, so a little tip and trick here. This is not going to be mounted this high up. Obviously you can see it's not covering anything now, but to help install the guard onto the clamps, you can pull the clamps up this bar farther. That way you can actually flip this back. You can pull this back, get back behind here and actually see what you're doing a little bit easier. And then you can go ahead, once you got the bolts finger tight, then you go ahead and slide this back down the bar. Just makes it a little bit easier to, you know, make sure you're getting it through, get your bolt through both sides of the clamp, and just get better access and visibility to everything. Alright, so now you can see I've slid the guard and everything back down the frame bar. It's best if you can try and push both the clamps at the same time using both hands. With the rubber coating on the clamps, it does hang up a little bit, but it will slide on this bar. It just, you might have to work it a little bit to get it down. But the next step that you want to look at here is you want to get it lined up where this slot that was in the guard will line up with this post that was sticking out of the firewall. Then you just kind of rotate your plate back so that way this flange is then sitting up against the firewall. Once you get that, I would suggest probably tightening the smaller bolts up on the clamps first, just to make sure this isn't going to pull away or anything. That way, you know, get this held in place, tighten those down, make sure it's nice and secure on the bar, and then go ahead and use the screws and washers in these 3 holes to just kind of give it a little extra security up against the firewall there. And once you have those in, that'll complete the process for both of the AC guards. And if you need any assistance or have any questions beyond what's shown here for the install, you can always contact us either through our website, through the link or in the description. You can comment in there on this video. We'll also answer that way. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Safe riding.